channel, Vastu Creations. My name is Michael Mastro, and today we're going to use Vedic astrology using the sidereal zodiac, not Western tropical zodiac, to look at Simone Biles' chart, 10-time Olympic gold medalist, artistic gymnast. And so, if we look to the eastern horizon when she was born, you would see the constellation associated with Scorpio rising at 10 degrees and 42 minutes. Any planet that's within 5 degrees of that is said to have a lot of power, like Saturn and like Moon. Now, this becomes the most effective point of every house, this 10 degrees. And we, in transformational Vedic astrology, we look to see where the Multikona signs lie, to see what this person is learning about in their life. So we see the Multikona signs are 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 11. You see Aries ruled by Mars in the 6th house. Any Multikona sign in the 6th, 8th, or the 12th becomes challenging or functionally malefic. So Venus as well as Mars, Libra ruled by Venus in the 12th house can be challenging, as well as Mars, Rahu, and Ketu for this chart. So this person is learning about, you have Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter in the 2nd house. So wealth and fame and stability in the family, learning about that. And then you have Saturn ruling Aquarius in the 4th house, learning about happiness and family. Then we have Mars ruling Aries in the 6th house, learning about competition and conflict, injuries. And then you have Moon ruling Cancer in the 9th house, good fortune, working for government organizations, the Olympic team. Then you have the 5th sign of Leo, ruled by Sun in the career house, learning about achieving in her career. And then we have Virgo, ruled by Mercury in the house of income and fulfilling goals, as well as organizations and connection to others. Then you have Venus ruling Libra in that 12th house, learning about separation, hospitalization, depression, in her case, ADHD. So, let's see how the planets are operating, and then we'll see when they're operating and what we could do to improve the chart. So, Sun is afflicted by Venus and is weak, and it is at 29 degrees, old age, and it's also afflicted by K2. So Sun represents father, so there was a lack of support from the father. Father left at an early age. Mother couldn't support her and her brothers and sisters, so she was raised by her grandfather. So this kind of disruption in the early family life possibly supported her channeling her energy into a career through sports at a very, very early age, I think 6. And then weak moon is afflicted by Rahu, and it gives delay to good fortune through government-sponsored organization of the Olympics and other organizations for the gymnastics. And also moon is mind, so there was some issue, with some mental issues as well, the ADHD. And then also moon is your not necessarily coach, but the doctor, Dr. Nasiri, who sexually assaulted her, can be connected to some issues with the moon. So challenging, functional malefic Mars Gives competition through courage and organized sports teams. It's placed in the house of organizations. And then Mercury, Mars itself is very much connected to sports. And then Mercury and Saturn, K2, all in the house of sports, um, entertainment, um, is debilitated, and it is afflicted by K2 as well, and as well as being combust very close to the sun. And it also affects the mind, the discrimination, the intellect, mental issues, ADHD, and um, gives income through creativity and organized sports teams. And then, so there's organized organizations. It's ruling that house. So then Jupiter is weak also. It's debilitated at 17 degrees. Um, it is ruling the house of wealth and fame and stability in the family, placed in the house of success through public performance, the gymnastic performance, performing arts, artistry, and so, and Jupiter is a kind of a teacher. So she's kind of a role model for a lot of young people to excel in gymnastics and sports as well. Um, Gave some instability in the family because it's weak. Then we have a challenging functional malefic Venus at 24 degrees. Give this separation from family at an early age. Also, some surgeries, some hospitalizations, some depression, and it affects her happiness in sports. So it's placed in the house of happiness and family. So disturbed separation, the 12th house separation from family brings some unhappiness, some depression, possible addiction. Um, then we have a weak Saturn. It's also debilitated, close to the most effective point, so it has a lot of impact. And it is ruling the house of happiness and family, and gives a lot of discipline in her sports, hard work. They have to practice 40 hours a week at a very young age. She had homeschooling. And then Rahu and K2, they're always trying to teach us to balance something. So K2 is in this house of creativity, personal creativity, and gymnastic expression, artistry, with the organizational um, expression and success connection to. So individual and organizational with her teammates, uh, team expression. So let's look at the timing of events. She was born, Scorpio is a fixed water sign. It teaches us to be flexible and to ground that emotional energy. She was born during a sun period. Sun is sports. In October of 2013, she had some hospitalization or surgery for a bone spur during a Mars Venus period. So Venus representing hospitalization and surgery, and Mars representing accidents. In 2016, she was brought out that she had ADHD. She was also assaulted by Nasiri during a Rahu period, unexpected events. In 2017, she took a hiatus from a career and co-wrote the book Courage to Soar during a Jupiter period. Jupiter's publishing, teaching through books, writing. And then in 2019, she had kidney stone and a broken toe during a Rahu Saturn period. So Saturn is the bones, and there's also Venus was involved in that. Venus's kidneys and hospitalization, all there. In July 28th, 2021, she withdrew from the Olympics due to mental issues. And this is a Rahu Saturn period. So, again, Saturn representing happiness or unhappiness, mental issues, lack of peace of mind, Rahu, unexpected events, and it took a lot of courage for her to do that. But there was quite a bit of things going on at that time. If we look at the chart at that time, the transit chart, you can see that uh, actually it was a couple hours before that. So natal K2 afflicting moon, which is mind and emotions. And then you have Mercury combusts Sun, affecting the mind as well, the mental issues. You have Rahu and K2 close to the most effective point within 5 degrees, afflicting the first house of self, um, the body, and then the fifth house of sports and creativity, the seventh house of um, uh, relationships or partnerships with her team, withdrawing from the team, the ninth house of government organizations and um, good fortune, and then the 11th house of organizations and income. All of these houses, 6 out of the 8 houses, afflicted by Rahu and K2. Rahu is also afflicting Sun, which is the sports as well. Um, and then Jupiter is afflicted by, let's see, Mars. Uh, so, so Jupiter in this case having to do with her fame, and Mars, but Mars giving her the courage to do this. And so, her coming out became, as she's a role model, she's saying, it's okay to admit if you have some mental issues, it's okay to get help. It's not something you have to hide. And this is a trend that probably Michael Phelps was one of the very first, he's an Olympic gold medal swimmer. He admitted that, for several years, that he had mental issues, and it's okay to get help. It's not a feeling you have to hide it or anything like that. So, yeah, very powerful chart. So, what could we do to improve this chart? Well, strengthening Sun, Moon, Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn. You could use gemstones to do that, or much simpler and much more cost effective. We sell these on our website. They are a silver locket containing the Devata yantras for all those planets. Very powerful way to strengthen all your planets and reduce, the health issues, the mental issues, etc. Improve the performance, and then you want to transform Venus by helping women, which she's already doing with her teammates and being a role model. You want to help men that are like brothers, Mars, so charities. And she's involved in charity work already, so she's already doing these things, as well as Rahu and K2. K2 helping spiritual organizations. I think she's involved in the Catholic religion. And Saturn, again, helping those who cannot help themselves. So, as you can see, this transformational Vedic astrology is very, very accurate. If you'd like to get a reading, you can go to www.vastucreations.com under services and get a reading. Or if you'd like to learn this and get certified to help other people with this astrology, you can go to American Institute of Vastu.com. We have a level 1 and level 2 certification. Thank you so much for listening.